welcome back to my channel. I've got an amazing video lined up for you today where I'm going to share with you some amazing deals that you can get from this Prime special sale that Amazon hosts, which is tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So I've gone through Amazon, looked at all of the books that they had and got you some great deals. All of them will be linked in the description below with the prices, so you can consider getting them. A small addition to this video are also a few videos that I would recommend you not to buy, because I have seen those books at lower prices even without the sale, and I just feel like some of those books were jacked up right now and it was just not worth it. Also, there were lots of books in the sale, but I picked ones that I closely related to, as well as books that I'd like to recommend, and also some books which I thought have gone to like really good prices. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to start off with box sets. So for box sets, the first box set is the Folk of Air series. Now, I have already recommended this series in like a different video where I was suggesting books that you could get for below 1,000, but this particular sale, this box set has further reduced, so I would highly recommend getting it during the Prime Day sale. Remember that for buying in a Prime Day sale, you need to be a Prime member, but apart from that, you can buy just about anything. So the Folk of Air series has like 3 books, and this is a YA fantasy series. So if you're into that kind of a genre, I'd highly recommend getting this book set. The next box set that I want to recommend is the Truly Devious series. Again, this is a box set that I have actually recommended before, but it looks like the price have gone further below for the sale. So if you didn't get this before, then I highly recommend this. This is again a YA thriller, murder mystery kind of whodunit in the modern world kind of series. So if you're into things like Agatha Christie's or Sherlock Holmes and you know that border on thriller but just like whodunit thrillers, then you should definitely try this series. It's pretty good. The third box set that I'd like to recommend is the Harry Potter Hufflepuff edition. Now, the Hufflepuff editions are basically a glorified version of the actual Harry Potter books, except that they have special like additions specific to that house. So the Hufflepuff editions have like certain illustrations or much more markups related to Hufflepuff. So if you're a Hufflepuff, I'd recommend getting this box set because I've not seen it come at this price and it's pretty good. There's also like the Ravenclaw edition or the Slytherin edition that I again saw on the sale, but somehow the Slytherin edition was like at least $1,000 more than the Hufflepuff edition, which I thought was not like worth it. So I'm not going to recommend the Slytherin edition. If you just want any like house edition of the Harry Potter books, then you should get like the Hufflepuff edition because they're still pretty good and they're all paperbacks. So those were like the 3 main box sets that I wanted to share with you guys. There were a few other box sets as well, but I did not feel like they were good enough to get recommended. So I'm going to jump right into the box sets or the books that I think you should not get during this sale. So let's go through that list. The first one in that list is the Six of Crows duology. So this is the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And for some weird reason, this box set is like overpriced and he's still calling it the Prime Day deal, which I feel is just absurd. So I would not recommend getting this box set. It's like over $1,000 and you can just get each of these individual books like for less than $600 at least. And they're not even like special editions, because Six of Crows has like a special edition one and this one looks pretty like normal. So I wouldn't recommend getting this box set. The next box set that I would not recommend is the Infernal Devices. Now, you all know how much of a fan I am of the Infernal Devices. They're like my #1 box set like ever, and if there was ever a chance I'm recommending a book to anybody, I'm going to recommend the Infernal Devices. However, the Infernal Devices is now priced at like $1129 for like $3, and I have seen this box set for like much lesser, so I'm kind of wondering if they just jacked up the prices, and you could actually get these individual books for like a much lesser price. So I wouldn't recommend getting the Infernal Devices, although the series is like amazing. The third box set that I don't want to recommend, or the book that I don't want to recommend, is Jurassic Park. Now I saw this book and I was immediately intrigued because who doesn't want Jurassic Park on their like bookshelf? But this book was priced at like $364 and I have seen this book maybe like a different edition for like a much lesser price, and this edition did not feel like any special edition. It wasn't a hardcover. There was nothing about it that actually felt around $400 worthy. So I would recommend not to get this book in the Prime Day sale. And that's about it. So now I'm going to jump into all the books that you can get on the Prime Day sale, which is so amazingly priced. Let's get right into it. So the first book I'm going to recommend is Percy Jackson, and this is like the first book, The Lightning Thief, and this was just about like a little over $150, and I thought that was a great deal, especially if you've not read any of the Rick Riordan books, or if you've not read Percy Jackson before. This is a great time to get this book and read it, and if you like it, then you could go ahead and get like a box set or something. But this is like a great first starter for a book, and it's got like everything Greek mythology-ish. It's got like a YA feel. It's got a great protagonist, and it's just an amazing series. So if there's one YA book that you're trying to get for this Prime Day sale, I highly recommend this one because it's like super price low. The next book that I'm going to recommend is The Cruel Prince, and this is about like a little over $150 again, or at least close to $200. But this is like the first book in the Folk of Air series, and if you're not really sure whether you want to splurge for the entire Folk of Air series, which is like a trilogy, then you can get like this first book and try. It's not like absurdly priced, so it's a great book to try. The next book I want to recommend is Little Women, and this is about a little over $100, which is why it immediately became like a steal deal. Now this is not like some random edition as well. This is one of their V&A editions, which is like a really cute edition. It's only a paperback, but if you've not read Little Women before, or you just want Little Women in your collector's edition, maybe something to have in your bookshelf, or just another edition of Little Women because you are like a Little Women fan, then I would recommend this book. It's primarily because it's nominally priced and it's not a normal edition. So that's a great classic to have as well. The next book I recommend is Crooked Kingdom. Now I know I just told you not to get the Six of Crows duology, but the Crooked Kingdom is for about like a little over $200, which actually is my point, because the Six of Crows duology was like over $1,000, and there's no way Six of Crows can be like close to $900, even if you get like the special edition one. So if you want to read Crooked Kingdom, this is a great deal for you to get. However, this is the second book in the series, so you'll have to read Six of Crows if you want to read Crooked Kingdom. But if you've not gone into the Grishaverse world of Leigh Bardugo's, I would highly recommend it, because it's just an amazing world to be in with all the Grishas and all of the magic and the mayhem and our favorite Kaz Brekker. So the plot is around like 6 thieves / gang of young people who get called in to do heists. So it's set in like this made up fantasy world, and it's just brilliant. So this is actually a duology, so don't get this book if you haven't read the first one. The next book is We Were Liars, and I am highly recommending this because this is such a TikTok rage book and it was just everywhere. It's more on like a contemporary side. So if you want to read something more like romance or contemporary, then I would recommend this book. It's got a bit of a thriller element to it as well. It's a great book that you get at a nominally priced amount as well. The next book I'd like to recommend, Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters, which is the second book, and this is again nominally priced, and I thought it was a steal deal for about like a little over $150. There are other Percy Jackson books also in the sale, but I did not add them to this list because they were priced like over $200, and it just felt like that's a nominal price for a Percy Jackson book even if there wasn't a sale. So these felt like actual reductions, and that is why I'm like highlighting them in this list. The next book that I would like to recommend immensely is the Harry Potter 25th Anniversary Edition Philosopher's Stone. Now this I got recently, I think just about a month back, and I actually paid like $150 more than what it's priced right now. And this is like a new release, plus it's a limited edition, so I think it's only available for a year, and it's actually on sale, which is a great deal. It's a hardcover, it's got like brilliant new illustrations, and it also has markups from J.K. Rowling's like original manuscript. So I thought this was amazing, especially if you're like a Harry Potter fan. Then this is such a deal that I've not seen this price before on Amazon. Now the next book I want to recommend is Grimm's Fairy Tales. And this, I was like literally flummoxed because this book is a special edition hardcover, and I've seen this book for like over $1,000, and it's actually priced at less than $500 in the sale. And if you're looking for a classic collector's edition book, you've just gotta like, without a thought, buy this book. It is brilliant. It has illustrations, it is like an amazing Grimm's Fairy Tales set of collective stories, and it's just amazing to have that on your bookshelf. The next book is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and I have talked about Mitch Albom in one of my previous videos. Especially if you're like a Matt Haig fan, then Mitch Albom was like so much more contextual. So I really recommend this book. It borders more on self-help, self-improvement, but like from a fiction/fantasy point of view. So this actually seems like a really good deal because the price has been deducted a lot. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, not YA, not fantasy, not specific in those areas, then I would highly recommend this book. The next book I recommend is The 40 Rules of Love. This is fairly a new book. It just got released like I think a couple of months back, but it just like skyrocketed on Instagram. It's such an Instagram fave. Now this book is more like adult contemporary, but set in like a medieval space, especially from the Middle Eastern vibes. So if you're into that kind of genre, then I'll highly recommend this book. The next book I wanted to recommend is Crescent City, and oh my god, I cannot talk about this book more. So Crescent City, the House of Earth and Blood, is like the first book in the series. It's Sarah J. Maas's first adult, hopefully a trilogy, or maybe a little bit even more, but it is just brilliant. I don't think I can stop talking about this trilogy enough. So if you have not read Crescent City before, it's fairly new, maybe like a year old, because the second book just got released this year. You should definitely check it out because the price is brilliant, and House of Sky and Breath is actually at a reduced price as well. So you should definitely check this whole duology out. The next book and the last book that I really want to recommend is Pride and Prejudice, and that is this beautiful hardcover edition, just like the Grimm's Fairy Tales one. Now I've seen this book quite a bit on Amazon. It's always there, but I've always seen this for like about $450. So this felt like actually a deducted price, and I immediately wanted to share it with you guys, because if you don't have Pride and Prejudice, or if you have Pride and Prejudice and you just need like an affordable collector's edition which is hardback, then please go ahead and buy it because this book looks beautiful and brilliant. So there you go. Those were all the books that I wanted to recommend to you from this sale. Remember, the sale is only for 2 days, and so go ahead, and if you like any of these books that I recommended, or you're planning to get any of these books that I recommended, do let me know what you end up buying, and I hope I was of some help to make those decisions for you. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because that really helps me make more videos, and I will see you in another video. Bye!